go like 4 times. Right now my camera's working. My battery is half charged. I'm having the worst day. Okay? This is not the intentionally planned video I had for today, but this is something I've been wanting to film. So I had the palette out that I wanted to do a look on today and opened it and it was shattered. So, deep breathing, moving on, bad day. Anyways, if you are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now before we continue on, because you don't want to miss any more of my awesome videos or my rant on terribly bad days. Today's video is going to be my top 5 favorite palettes and my top 5 least favorite palettes. I did not say that. So should we go ahead and just get the bad out of the way first? Because now that I'm sitting here ready to do this, I feel kind of guilty. But it's honest. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. The first palette is the Bobbi Brown Caviar and Rubies eyeshadow palette. I don't own a ton of Bobbi Brown, so when I purchased this, I was super excited. The colors are beautiful. They are definitely colors that I use on a regular basis. They're just not pigmented at all. I feel like they are kind of chalky when they apply. I've tried wetting a brush, I've tried not wetting a brush, I have tried everything and they just do not work out for me. Just because I don't like a product or a product doesn't work out for me doesn't mean that it won't work out for you. But that's why this is my top 5 favorite and least favorite. So anyways, I just don't feel like it has that great of a color payout. I feel like the shades are chalky. Was definitely disappointed in this palette. The next palette is the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Honey palette. I still actually have this in the box. So the peanut butter and jelly palette, I remember when that first came out a few years ago, I was super excited for. That's actually a palette I still use. I do have to use my brush wet to use that palette. So I was very excited to get the peanut butter and honey. I was very excited about this mustard yellow shade in here that they call Honey Buns. You can see that I've went into the shadow with a wet brush. It's not good. Like, not only is it not good, the colors are just, they're not pigmented. I used the yellow wet, I've used it dry. There is no color payout. The honey brittle color, which is right here, there's also no color payout. The Feelin' Nutty shade right here is a pretty dark brown in the pan. If you are looking for a light brown shade, then that's the one for you, because that's how it comes out. I did use this shade, Sweet as Honey, and PB&H right here to kind of set my eyeshadow primer, and that's about as much as I will use this. So yeah, sorry Too Faced, just not in love with this at all. The next palette is the Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette. I wanted to like this, especially because smoky eyes are the end thing. A lot of clients that I do ask for a smoky eye. I just feel like it's just not well put together. Even though every single color is a different color, I feel like they're all the same. Like when I look at this, I just see the same color all the way around. Especially like here through here. I just feel like I see the same color. There's not much of a shade range change. I feel like they could have done so much more with this than what they did. Also, I mean 13, the shade 13 here and the shade Combust, I feel like are very, very similar. They wear the exact same way. The only shade in this that I do like is the highlighter shade right here called High. Other than that, I feel like Urban Decay could have done a lot better, could have added some different colors because the smoky eye doesn't have to be all of the same color. Sorry, Urban Decay. The next palette is Too Faced again. I'm sorry, Too Faced. It is the white chocolate bar palette. I actually am wearing this on my eyes right now. When the palette that I was gonna do a look for broke, I was like, hey, I've used that Too Faced white chocolate bar palette like 2 times. Let's just give it a try again. And I still do not like it. I feel like looking at the shades, they are beautiful. This green really stuck out to me. The light purple really stuck out to me. This shade right here really stuck out to me. But literally, as I used the lavender cake is what it's called, and the frosted apricot, I literally have those on my eyes right now. It does not look like I have any purple or frosted apricot on my eyes. The only color that you can see is the smoked sea salt, which is right here, which is what I have on my crease and kind of half down here on my lid. And then the mint chocolate shade, it is okay. I did put a ton of white liner down here to get that green to kind of pop through, and that's still as bright as it got. Yeah, I'm not in love with this. I'm in love with what it looks like. I'm not in love with how it swatches or how it wears. The next palette that I do not like is the Lovegrove Pro Mega 4 palette. There's a lot of things that I don't like about this. I don't like how little the pans are, for one. Lovegrove is not the most expensive brand, but it's also not the cheapest brand. So I feel like for a palette that is so hyped up, I don't like how little the pans are. I just don't like it. Really, I mean, the colors are okay. They're not super great. They're not super awful. It just, personally, when I look at this palette, I'm like, yeah, it's okay. It's not what I ever reach for. I feel like there's a lot of the same colors going on with very little change in here, which is fine for building up color. I guess this is an okay palette if you're just kind of like upping your makeup game, but it's not a palette that I reach for or I even think about, besides when I make my top 5 least favorite palette video. I'm sorry, Lovegrove. And I also hate that I found out that the name Lovegrove is the owner's name, Carol, spelled backwards. I hate that. I used to think that Lovegrove was so cool. I thought that was an awesome name. And then when I found out that it was Carol spelled backwards, it just broke my heart. Okay, so for my top 5 favorite palettes, are you guys ready for this? Number 1, and you can tell that these are very well used, is the Tarteist Pro Amazonian Clay palette by Tarte. This palette I have used so many times. It is extremely loved. I use it on myself still. I use it on clients all the time, as you can see. I love it. I love that there's such a wide range of colors here and how you have your shimmers over here. I love how the palette is set up. I love how I feel like this palette was made for an artist or for just a regular consumer. I love how it was put together. I love the color range. I love how it wears. I love everything about this palette. It is still one of my all-time favorite palettes. Way to go, Tarte. Way to go. The next palette is the Urban Decay Electric palette. Whenever I do a colorful look, this is still the palette that I reach for. Also, I have used it so many times and I have not hit pan on any of these. I feel like the pan sizes are nice. I feel like the colors are just beautiful. If you love a colorful look, then this is definitely the palette for you. I don't even know if they still sell this anymore. I don't know, but I do know that this is one of my favorite palettes. I use it all the time. The colors are so pigmented, they wear beautifully, and then you have this awesome silver here that I'm completely obsessed with. I love this palette all the way around. Every color in it is beautiful. Way to go, Urban Decay. The next palette is another Urban Decay palette. So I said that the Urban Decay Electric palette is the palette that I reach for color. This is another palette that I'm starting to reach for color. This is a newer palette, but I have already done so many colorful looks with it. It is the Urban Decay Kristen Leanne palette. I am giving this palette away in a couple of days. So if you haven't entered that giveaway, now is the time. It does end on the 20th. Anyways, these colors are beautiful. I feel like Urban Decay does such a nice job with bright colored shadows. I feel like they nail them. I feel like they wear beautifully, they swatch beautifully. I feel like Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne did such an amazing job. I also love that these two shades right here, Leo and Brixton, have the ability to change the look of every single color in this palette. I love that. I love how if I want to be shimmery and sparkly, I can just go in with the shade Stay Gold or Corona, and still it doesn't even have to be a dramatic bright colored look. I can just have something gold and sparkly. They did an amazing job on this. I know that this one is still available, so if you're looking for color or something to just up your makeup collection, I definitely recommend that. Good job, Urban Decay, again. All right, the next palette is probably the most controversial makeup palette in the entire world. It is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. As you can see, I have used this a lot. I do still use this a lot. I feel like if I personally were an eyeshadow palette, I would be Anastasia Subculture. I feel like, yes, it has fallout. I feel like, yes, it can be messy, but still, man, I just can't let this palette go. Like, I love it so much. I think about it all the time. It's still one that I reach for. It's still one that I love. I've done beautiful looks with this palette on myself and clients, and it's not going anywhere. Anastasia always kills it and puts out great products. I know this one is still available if you guys want to give it a try. Love, love, love it. All right, the next one is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. As you can tell, this one is well used. I have repurchased this own palette like 4 times. I do have like 2 on backup over there besides this one. I use this a lot on myself and clients. This is probably the most asked for palette by clients. Like, hey, can you use the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette on me? The shade range is just beautiful, man. It's freaking beautiful. They blend out like a freaking dream. This palette you cannot go wrong with. The colors blend amazingly. The colors are amazing. I feel like this palette just really kind of got Anastasia out there and was like, hey, we're coming. Like, this is the awesome palette that we have. And I feel like this palette is just gonna be around for a long time. I hope that it is, because I love it so much. So, that's it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you learned something cool today. Let me know in the comments below if you like or dislike any of these palettes. What palettes do you not like? What palettes do you like? Am I totally wrong here? Do you think like, hey, I've tried one of these palettes and I love it? Holly, you're wrong. Let me know what you think. I love to hear your guys' opinions in the comments. Also, hit that bell notification if you have not. Go enter the giveaway for the Urban Decay Kristen Leanne palette. And follow me on my social medias. I will link them below. And I will talk to you soon. Have a good